How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and it looks like Mortal Kombat isn't completely dead because NetherRealm just dropped an update and it did quite a few things. So believe it or not, NetherRealm finally showed some love to your boy Shao Kahn, the pre-order bonus character that they kept dangling in front of our face and said, here you go, you can finally play as him, but then guess what? He was low tier for the entire duration of the game. And if I'm being honest with you, after these changes, I think he may be a solid mid tier now. So without any further ado, let's talk about all the different changes he got, most of which are buffs, though there are some slight nerfs in there too, unfortunately. So first up, we have this string right here, you will never win. So it's actually a bit harder to punish on block. It's now -9, so it recovers 3 frames faster than before. Now unfortunately, that does mean every single character in the game can punish this on block, except for Shao Kahn himself, oddly enough. He does have the slowest standing one in the entire game. So I guess if you do find yourself in a Shao Kahn mirror match, he can now no longer punish this string unless he wants to flawless block and do an up 2. However, here's the crazy thing, even the flawless block got a buff as well. So before, if you flawless blocked this second hit, Shao Kahn couldn't do anything. He just had to eat whatever punish you did, because once again, he's fully punishable. However, now that's not the case, at least not all the time, because now he can finally special cancel that second hit even when it gets flawless blocked. And you might be wondering why that's a big deal. Well, I shall tell you. Unless you have the meter to do an up 2 reversal, you cannot interrupt the special moves that he cancels into, especially not the faster ones like his shoulder charge. Unless you have 1 defensive bar and 1 offensive bar for a flawless block reversal, you just have to deal with these special moves, and a lot of them are now safer or even plus on block. And that is just paradise on earth for Shao Kahn, because this guy is a combo monster. His combos hurt a lot, and as a result, the opponent's gonna want to break away to avoid that damage, and once they do, guess what they can no longer do? That's right, they can no longer interrupt your string. They have to deal with you will never win, and then whatever special move comes after. This change is honestly a really big deal for Shao Kahn, because tons of players would break away immediately, especially when his shoulder charge came. And unfortunately, that was pretty much a net negative for Shao Kahn, because his best mid had that gap and they could punish it no matter what. But now, unless they have the meter, there's nothing they can do. They have to deal with the special cancel. I cannot stress enough what a big win this is for Shao Kahn, especially against some really good players. At the more casual level, maybe they were never flawless blocking anyway, but trust me, at a high level, this is a very big deal. And I honestly think these first 2 buffs alone are enough to make Shao Kahn way more popular at tournaments. I think we're finally gonna see more players using him than video games, yo. And I almost forgot to mention that at the casual level, since the opponent doesn't have meter for a flawless block reversal, they're probably not even gonna go for a flawless block, which means this 50-50 mix-up with the throw versus the special move is gonna become a lot more powerful. So even at the casual level, these first 2 changes can be a really big deal for Shao Kahn, a true game changer, I'll tell you what. And then next up, we have the hammer lunge. Now this move got a bit of a nerf, but it also got a buff, and I think the buff benefits way overshadow the tiny nerf that it got. But what is the nerf? Well, for starters, when it's blocked, it has almost no pushback. Look at that, Devore is in the exact same spot, and it's also -7 on block, so it is definitely her turn. However, I think a lot of you already know that Shao Kahn has the option to amplify on block, and this would always catch players that were a bit too eager to go for that punish. They want to take their turn back, and Shao Kahn says no. It honestly was a pretty good option. Now the issue was it was very punishable on block, so it was a very big gamble. If you got the read correctly, you got a little bit of damage, right? 90, not bad, not bad. But if the opponent blocked it, you were going to eat a full combo punish, so you lived and died by this mix-up. And if you ask me, the cons kinda outweighed the pros, which is why I personally almost never went for the Amplify unless I had a very generous life lead. But now there's no need to fear, because the Amplify had a very generous buff. Check this out, it is now +1 on block, so not even safe, it is plus on block. So not only can the opponent not punish you, but you can actually theoretically whiff punish them and steal your turn back with things like a back 2. The spacing is almost perfect. And if I'm being honest, I think a standing 1 might be a good idea as well. It doesn't quite reach, but once again, the idea here is whiff punishing, right? It's 9 frames, so if they go for a jab, you'll catch their jab, boom, and get a full combo. So as long as you have some meter lying around, amplifying hammer lunge can be a very good idea. But I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, what if they flawless block? Well, check this out. It is still +1. So if the opponent blocks the first hit normally and then expects the second hit, it doesn't matter. They still can't use the flawless block reversal to punish you. However, unfortunately, I do believe they can interrupt the first hit if they flawless block that. Let's go ahead and see. Yes, they can. So right there, I went for the Amplify, and it didn't matter. She can still interrupt me every single time. And unfortunately, the hammer lunge does have a lot of startup, so it's not going to be impossible impossible for a good player to do this, they're gonna be able to read it or even react to it and get the flawless block. But once again, the good news is, unless they have 1 bar of offense and 1 bar of defense, they can't do a darn thing even if they do flawless block it, because it is still +1. However, do be warned, because there was one nerf that came with the amplified attacks. So if you amplify, it now has more recovery on miss. Now honestly though, it's pretty hard to miss with this thing. He goes like full screen already, and then if you amplify, it's like, yeah, how you gonna miss this thing? It honestly sounds impossible in theory, but if you do manage to miss with this thing, it does have a lot more recovery frames on miss, 15 more frames to be exact. However, we're still not done with this move, because I intentionally saved the best for last. So this move is now better on hit, and as a result, it's now your go-to way to extend combos after landing 1-4. So go ahead and check out this combo. It is just crazy, and honestly, it's not hard to do. It's gonna take a bit of practice, but trust me, you'll have it down in no time, especially if you already played Shao Kahn. And I'm not sure if you saw the damage just then, but that was 35% for a single bar of meter, and I didn't even need a jump in. I just want to see, you know, for science. Let's see what the damage is. Look at this. Oh my god, we're getting almost 37%. And need I remind you, that's for 1 bar of meter from mid-screen. Okay, because I hear you, Sonya Blade mans. You're like, oh my god, she could get that in the corner, blah blah, just 1 meter. This is not the corner, big boy. We are at mid-screen, and we are still getting 37% for 1 bar of meter. And it doesn't have to be 1-4. He can also get this extension from his forward 2. Now to be fair, forward 2, it's a pretty slow move, but it's a decent whiff punish, and if you land it, boom, another combo. And once again, the damage is nothing to sneeze at. It's pretty cray-cray. Yeah, once again, almost 35% for a single bar of meter off a very easy whiff punish. But once again, the 1-2 combo starter is where it's all at, because keep in mind that is Shao Kahn's go-to punish. So if the opponent does something really unsafe, like say Scorpion's teleport or Jade's nitro kick, they are in for 35% from mid-screen. But I can already hear you all asking, what is the corner damage like? If we're getting 35% from mid-screen, how much are we getting in the corner? Let's go ahead and find out. Once again, no jumping. I want to tease you a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's so easy. Comes out like butter. And look at this. We are getting 420, baby. 42% damage for 1 bar of meter. If the opponent does anything unsafe in the corner, they're eating 42% for just 1 bar. And that's great, because some characters have up 3s that are fully punishable on block. So if they get scared and go for a wake up and you block it, you are getting a full combo. And in fact, even if you go for a neutral jump and you whiff punish their wake up, that's also going to be a full punish. And just for fun, what's the damage on that? What's the damage like if I start with the jump in? Once again, this combo could not be any easier, ladies and gentlemen. It's so easy. Oh my god, check it out, 43%. Okay, not a big increase, but still, 43% is pretty crazy. And just in case you're wondering, from mid-screen, if you have Fatal Blow, you get almost 50% for just 1 bar of meter. This is nuts. And keep in mind, these combos aren't optimal. You can get like 1, maybe 2% more damage. I don't think it's worth it for the effort, but yeah, you could get a bit more damage here. And then last but not least, we have Ground Shatter. The default version is a bit tougher to punish on block. It recovers 4 frames faster, and it has more pushback. Now with that said, it is still very punishable, so you want to be careful with it, but I think a lot of players who don't know the matchup are going to be thrown off by this. They're going to go for a jab or something and just miss completely. And keep in mind, the 4-3-4 string, you will never win, does have a bit of pushback on its own, so combine the two and now look at the spacing. Haha, it's even tougher to punish now. But right here is where things get crazy. So what do you think happens when I amplify it? Huzzah! It is now -8, which you'd think is punishable, but look at all this distance. Nobody is punishing this. And that's especially true if I do this string beforehand. Whoop-pow! Once again, -8. Not even Noob Cybot can punish me from this far away. It's not gonna happen. No one is punishing me at -8 from this far away. And that is an extremely big deal, because essentially that means if Shao Kahn does anything that is normally unsafe, like say his 4-3-4, he can just do this move and then spin the bar, and he is completely safe on block. And to make things even better, especially at a high level, Shao Kahn's main mix-up has now gotten better. So what is that mix-up? Well, remember how earlier we talked about this second hit being flawless blockable? Well, the timing is different if you cancel into Ground Shatter instead. Look at that, it's 26 frames on startup, whereas this second stomp is actually 19 frames. So if the opponent goes to flawless block your stomp, they are not going to succeed. When the opponent blocks this first hit, they have to guess. Are you going to commit and do the second hit, or are you going to go straight into Ground Shatter? They don't know. And beforehand, Shao Kahn used to live and die by this mix-up because while in theory the second hit could save you, it was fully punishable on block, and now it's not. It's completely safe with increased pushback. So once again, as long as Shao Kahn has some meter available and the opponent can't do a reversal, he is completely safe in this mix-up, a get out of jail free card. This mix-up is now low risk and a decent reward, as opposed to beforehand where it was a very, very big risk and only an okay reward. So yeah, Shao Kahn has been buffed in quite a few ways, and I think he is much, much stronger now. His combos have gotten better, he is much safer now, and his most important mid is now much tougher for the opponent to punish on block. They have to have meter for a reversal, otherwise they have to hold his special moves. All in all, he is much stronger now. They didn't change everything that I recommended, like his standing 1 is still 1 frame slower than everyone else's, sometimes 2 frames, and I have no idea why. But even so, I think these changes are very nice and certainly a step in the right direction, and once again, I'm excited to see if more pro players pick him up for tournaments. But that's about it for my breakdown, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. It really does help the channel out a ton. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing? And make sure to ring that bell too, that way you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.